Hello everyone, hope you are doing fine. I am Sumit here. I am a SDET having 5 plus year of experience working as a SDET in a multiple product based company. I am sharing my experience. So regarding this role, in this role, like anyone who want to become a SDET, even if they are in the manual testing or they are in any support profile who want to change their role into the SDET, they need few things. First of all, they need interest in the development and even in the testing the product. So if you're interested in finding a bug into a product and also writing a code and doing some automation using that, so this is the perfect role for you. So for becoming a estate, you need a design skill, a programming skill, BDD language knowledge basics, testing methodologies, agile and DevOps knowledge. So, as a SDET, you will get a chance to work on development of software product as well as writing framework and tools to test the products. Means in this IT industry, this role is very popular amongst the QA and the other profile, in which you will get an opportunity to learn the software technology, and also you will get a chance to create a automation framework from the scratch. So, what are the key skill required for becoming a SDET and sustaining in the IT industry? So, the most important is the good programming knowledge, good object-oriented programming knowledge. Either it can be Java or Python. And apart from the programming language, you should have a knowledge of SQL, a BDD framework, and basic of automation and framework designing, how you can design the framework, SQL, basic Unix commands, and then basic CI/CD pipeline like Jenkins and TeamCity. So these things will be required for becoming a SDET, and these tools and technologies can be used for creating a automation which will be helpful for finding the bugs or improving the quality of a product overall. So before starting with the automation, you have to start with the testing methodology and basic of testing. So you should start with like unit testing, integration testing, system testing, software performance testing, security or pen testing. So you should do it manually first and understand the flow, how this is happening, what is the overall process, how unit testing can be done, what all are the framework we can use, which all are the existing framework. You can try running those framework and see how it is generating, how you can do the integration testing, what is integration testing, what all are the steps involved in that. And based upon the understanding, you can create a automation. And once you start doing it manually, you will understand the pain point where tester is facing, how much manual work they are doing for doing this kind of testing. Like suppose if anyone want to do the performance testing, they will write the code, they will run it multiple times. So how you can help those tester or the developer in running the performance test by implementing the new framework, which can be just like using the Python. You can just create a framework which will be helpful to them. There they can using some test data, they can just add few values, and they can run a performance test on the product with the thousands of users, like using JMeter, how you can automate the JMeter, or how you can write a separate framework for the performance. For security and pen testing, you can how testers are doing it currently, how you can improve those things. So for doing the automation, you need to understand first how it is done manually, what all are the pain point for the tester, and then you can start writing the code. And once you understand overall how the process is going on, then you can write a very extensive framework which can be really useful for the tester and the team, and it can also save the manual efforts. So now once you are completed with the testing methodology and the basic of testing and what is the overall flow, you can now start with learning the basic of automation, how automation is written. You can just take a simple program and try to automate things, like how we can click on those button, how one API request can be sent multiple times. So those kind of thing you can start with the basic of automation and try doing by yourself. Try gathering information regarding the postman. It is very helpful while doing the API automation and API testing. So learn about the postman, try sending some requests from the postman, learn about SQL. It will be really helpful if your application is interacting with the database. The basic SQL knowledge is required, which can be useful for you in a multiple project. And the cloud basics. So now if all most of the companies are using the cloud like AWS, Azure or GCP. They are using the cloud, and they are using the cloud technology such as like VM, Docker, container. So those things are deployed in the cloud, and you need to know about the basic of Kubernetes command also. So suppose anything is failing if you're running an automation, so where you will check your logs. So for checking the logs, you have to go to the pod. So by going to the pod, you need the Kubernetes, right? By Kubernetes only, Kubernetes command only, you can just access those logs into the pod, and then you can run and analyze your test. You need to know about the Unix basics also, because it will be really helpful in gathering the information and the log after you complete your execution, and it will be really helpful in automating your task. CI/CD pipeline is must for us, because whenever you write a automation, you want to run your automation in each and every sprint, so that you will get the report and it will act as a regression suite for you, so that you can find like if any test case is failing, why it is failing, and you can just directly file a bug on that. So these basic things will be required for the SDET, and then you can start preparing into the multiple ways, like by going into multiple website, doing some programming, writing the automation framework. Start with the basic framework. So now you know the basic of the technological stack which will be used by SDET, and you have a basic understanding of overall testing and of the technology which can be helpful for writing the framework. So framework is nothing but a bunch of code which is created into a different pattern, the design pattern like model view controller or model view template. So we can create the framework using that. So there are multiple framework software framework is available there, like Selenium, Cucumber, Robot framework, PyTest. So using these framework structure, we can just create our automation suite based upon these technology or existing framework, and create our new automation. So we can start with the small automation first, like we'll start writing automation for a small API, like hitting the API multiple time. So we'll start with the small, writing the small framework, then running it multiple time just to test like, okay, is it working fine or not, before going to the large framework. So once we are compatible with the small scale framework, it is working fine, and you are able to test multiple scenarios on that, you can start writing the large framework. So once you start writing the large framework, you have to follow one of the structure, like either PyTest structure or a Selenium structure or a BDD structure. So you have to define it first, and based upon that, you can create a large scale framework, and you can use any language like Python or Java, and add all the implemented class or the libraries which is useful for you, and see how you can improve the overall performance and overall like how you can reduce overall manual effort for a tester, which can be helpful for them to work on the other tasks at that time whenever your automation is running for them. So whenever you are creating a framework, try to understand the problem first, like what is the problem and how much manual efforts can be saved by creating this framework. So these things you have to keep in mind, and then you can just start writing the framework, and slowly you will able to understand how this large framework works, and what all are the issue coming in your framework, and you can improve it continuously. And then you can just upload or add the CI/CD pipeline into your framework, so that it can work as a regression suite. So in the upcoming video, I am going to take one topic from the SDET role. I will start with maybe the Python, maybe the what is framework, or CI/CD pipeline, Unix, Kubernetes, Dockers, how it can be useful as a SDET, and how it is used in the company or the real world. So those things we will cover as a part of next video. Thank you.